Have you ever been inspired by an unexpected source? Whether it's by a friend, a parent, or a family, or a superhero? You probably said yes. Now think back to that time where that person or inspired you to do something, and if so, then how did it felt? I always ask myself that question whenever I'm going through some tough times in life, and it always keeps myself going. And this is exactly one of the things that helped me get over the toughest things I've ever faced in my life, which was accepting who I am, as I was inspired by an unexpected source. In this case, it was anime. And as I explained to you how I use these Japanese cartoons to overcome how I feel about my body, and I hope that through my stories, I can help you get through similar situations as well. Growing up, I wasn't always the athletic child. I'm sure, I'm sure not for most people watching. I was pretty chubby, and my name was very closely related to something related to a woman's chest, partially because of my last name, and partially because I had flabs on my chest. But the teasing really did hurt me a lot. It was like a crippling axe swinging at my legs. I was getting winded by how much I was getting criticized. And my confidence was as thin as paper, especially because it's in elementary school. So you can imagine how I felt when these kids would make fun of me for being chubby or overweight. I had thought for most of my life leading up to that point that I was doomed to be chubby or I was doomed to just stay this way. I had that same mindset for a very long time until I discovered anime. Not just any anime, it was One Punch Man, to be exact. And in that anime, the main character has the ability of punching through any villain in a single punch. And he also states to the characters of how he got this powerful, because obviously everyone's curious. And he says that he does 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and a 10-kilometer run, which is about 6 miles. And although the reaction of the rest of the characters in the anime was surprised because it didn't seem like it was much, it had inspired me and given that light of flames to just do it. And the very next day, I woke up with that same intention in mind to just have that drive and go do the same exact thing. And then right after that, I felt very exhausted. I woke up feeling dreadful because everything hurts, and that was the first time I ever worked out. But I had lit that flame and give me inspiration that just maybe if I would continue this, I could punch through my villains. Metaphorically speaking, obviously because I'm not One Punch Man, but I could finally become fit and I could finally become not chubby. This also led me to get into more anime like Dragon Ball Z, like Naruto, and many others, in which characters like Saitama or One Punch Man were to work out and get stronger. The lesson I surprisingly learned from this is that even in tough situations where I seemed like I was stuck, I managed to pull through. And it helped me get through many situations that apply to me in real life, and I'll explain to you later on throughout the rest of this speech. But it also taught me a lot about body image because, like I said, as growing up, I was chubby and made fun of, and this anime had given me a hope. It also realized as working out even more that I shouldn't expect the bodies that I see on internet. This was a big reason why I felt like I was hopeless, because looking at people like Chris Evans or Chris Hemsworth or The Rock, looking at how big they are and muscular and vascular, and always wanted me to be fit, and that is good for inspiration. If you look up to those people, kudos to you. You were inspired by them. I'm not taking that away. But you shouldn't expect to be the same exact body type or same exact sculpt as they are. They're doing something completely different than what you are, and you're doing something completely different. You guys are two different people, and it helped me realize that a lot, and that I should just focus on who I am. In another anime, Dragon Ball Z, the main character Vegeta was talking to Goku, or talking to Goku while fighting a really powerful opponent for the sacred universe, something over exaggerated, Dragon Ball Z. But while saying it to Goku, he was powering up, and the words that he said was, "I'll surpass my own limits in my own way." And I think what really inspired me was partially the quote, but I think the context building up to that quote. Throughout all of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Z Super, Vegeta has always kind of in a way been like the shadow of Goku, and it's like a cat and mouse when it comes to getting power. Every single time Goku would achieve a new limit, Vegeta would just go and achieve that same limit. If Goku would achieve Super Saiyan, Vegeta would get Super Saiyan. Goku wants Super Saiyan 2, he'll go Super Saiyan 2. And that whole idea of this power level of chasing was just something known throughout the whole anime. But when I heard Vegeta say that he'll surpass his own limits in his own way, it was as though that he didn't want to follow the line or follow the shadow that Goku was in, with this constant power cat and mouse chase. He wanted to become his own power. He wanted to be his own. He wanted to find his own strengths without copying someone else, and that really spoke out to me because, like I said before, when it came to looking at your celebrity idols, you shouldn't really focus your attention on being like them. It's good to be inspired by them, but you shouldn't try to be like them. You're your own person, and you should grow knowing your limits, and you should grow knowing who you are as a person rather than someone else. This spoke to me a lot because I didn't really at that point I was really confused obviously about who I wanted to become when I get older, but I always know that I'll always be myself and that I should always focus on my own journey and that I should always try to grow and become my own self, better myself, not for just anyone else, but for me and only me. The last and final anime I'll leave you off with that really inspired me was a very popular one, a very, very popular one, and it's pretty recent. It's an anime called My Academia. And in this anime full of superheroes and supervillains, this young boy, Deku, with no superpowers, was told by his idol, All Might, that he would never become a hero. And this had broken Deku. But later on in that episode, we see that same boy who was told that he'd never become a hero, Deku, risk his life to save his friend from being consumed by this villain, and it inspired All Might to go and save his life, even though All Might was at that point powerless and didn't want to do anything. And then towards the end of the episode, that All Might would tell Deku that you too can become a hero. And I think when I heard that, I even were watching it, like while writing this speech, I started to just tear up a lot because it was that quote really spoke to me. Deku wasn't always a confident character. He still isn't in the anime. He's a very shy person, and watching him fight for his life or risk his life and have that courage really inspired me and spoke out to me. It was as though, as someone who was made fun of, like Deku, for having no powers, that I could take control of my own destiny and I could become stronger than who I was. And on top of all of that, they also sort of montage. And I love montages in all animes, especially when it comes to working out, because it always wants me to do it to the point that I would literally stop watching the montage and start working out and then continue watching it. But it's always spoken out to me. And I tend to just really love those type of moments. Anime had taught me to deal with a lot of tough situations, and I know people may say it's for nerds, but who really cares? I love it. And if for those of you who don't know what anime is or never really got the time to, enjoy it, I suggest go watch an anime or pick up a manga and read it. You'll probably enjoy your time, trust me. And for those of you who've already been watching anime and probably watched a lot, maybe if you haven't already looked at an anime character or this anime as rather than just a bunch of people and cartoons being drawn, think of it as people with ideas, with beliefs, motives, and goals, and maybe you can see how their life and what their decisions make can help you inspire things. I mean, it helped me, and I'm sure it can help you.